Alright, what's up, everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, I'm going to be looking at an article by Bleacher Report that was put out talking about 5 blockbuster trades that could happen this offseason, talking about some superstars getting traded, how I feel about the moves, all stuff like that here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Link to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that, description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. Alright, so we're on Bleacher Report. Here is the article. It's called Blockbuster NBA Trade Ideas to Move Karl-Anthony Towns and More, written by Grant Hughes. It came out yesterday. So yeah, let's see what happens. So we got the little thing here. I already read it before. Let's get right into the trade. Starting off, Karl-Anthony Towns to the Pelicans. So the trade is New Orleans acquires Karl-Anthony Towns from the Minnesota Timberwolves for Brandon Ingram, Larry Nance Jr., and a 2027 first-round pick via Milwaukee. The write-up says the Minnesota Timberwolves will find it almost impossible to get back equal value for Karl-Anthony Towns, which is just one of the reasons why they shouldn't trade him. He's owed $221.1 million over the next 4 years, which most teams aren't clamoring to pay a big man with a spotty playoff track record and limited defensive value. Not only that, but the Wolves can't justify a high-level deal that merely cuts salary. Ownership groups are justified in pinching pennies on a team that can't make the playoffs, but one that dethroned the defending champs and reached the Western Conference Finals deserve to take another crack at advancing further next year. With that said, a cat deal remains a real possibility this offseason, if not now, certainly by the 2025 trade deadline. Here, the Wolves will get back Ingram and Nance, who will earn $36 million and $11.2 million respectively on expiring contracts in 24 and 25. For a Minnesota team that struggled to score, Ingram, whose main skill is creating something from nothing offense, could address a real need. Ingram could start between Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards, where he'd be shielded from tough defensive matchups. Minnesota could also start Naz Reid, an ultra big that sends Mike Conley to the bench in a 6-man role, which might not be the worst way to prop up reserve units that struggle to get buckets. Rim protection has been an issue. New Orleans are free agent to beat Jonas Valanciunas' tenure. Towns wouldn't help much there, but he'd fill the floor spacing 5 or potentially unlocking the most lethal version of Zion Williamson's downhill game. 5-out looks featuring Towns, one of the most dangerous shooting bigs in NBA history, could bring out the best in everyone on the Pels roster. New Orleans would give back plenty on D, but Herb Jones might be good enough on his own to ensure the team still finishes in the top half of the league in the end. If Cat turned the Pels to top 5 offense, a two-way profile would be good enough for 50-plus wins and a fighting chance against most postseason opponents. I like it from the Pelicans side. I like it to get Karl-Anthony Towns. Of course, New Orleans has always been trying to feels like a 5 that can shoot next to Zion is like the perfect world, and Karl-Anthony Towns is the best shooting 5. So having them together would be nice. I don't know about it for Minnesota though. I understand. I talked about it in my looking video about the Timberwolves after their season ended. That eventually someone's gonna have to go. Eventually, with the money, the salary cap, they don't want to get into the second round and all that stuff. One of them is gonna have to go, and Karl-Anthony Towns looks like the most, the odd man out to be traded. But I don't know about this package for the Pelicans. I mean, for the Timberwolves. They did say it's going to be really hard to find a replacement or find something of equal value for Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is all-star. And usually you don't trade all-star for all-star. That doesn't really happen that much. But especially if you want to get off money, you're going to have to take less value. But thinking about it, yes, Minnesota does need some, more scoring, and Brandon Ingram can do that. But I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about the Ingram and Jaden McDaniels, pairing together. Like, does that mean they're gonna put Jaden McDaniels at the 4? I mean, defensively he's good enough for that, but I don't really know. I don't know. I'm trying to picture it, and I can't really picture it. They also mentioned maybe putting Mike Conley on the bench, but I don't know if Anthony Edwards is ready to be a full-time point guard yet. With Bi at the 2, and then McDaniels, and then you throw Naz Reid. I don't really know. I don't know. I just don't really. Brandon Ingram, Minnesota, I don't know. I don't like the feeling of it. I really don't. For New Orleans, it's fine. It's good. Minnesota, I don't really know about that for sure. So I would say it's It's not great, but it's not horrible, but it's not the best because I don't really know how I feel about it from, the Minnesota. Lauri Markkanen to the Thunder is the next one. The trade is the Thunder acquire Lauri Markkanen for the Utah Jazz for Josh Giddey, Cason Wallace, and 3 future first-round picks. Whenever the prospect of OKC adding a star arises, everyone jumps right to long-term payroll concerns, which, way to keep it fun, everybody. Sheesh. It's true that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is already on a max deal and can add years to his current agreement as soon as the 2025 offseason. Right when Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren become eligible for their own extension, add a market rate extension for marketing, and the Thunder will get prohibitively expensive. Here's the thing though, OKC will have to pay up and trade assets and their actual dollars to improve his roster. There's no getting around it, and the Thunder's best opportunity to swing big is right now. Oklahoma City was the West top seed last year. It had a very short window to improve itself this summer using cap space and possesses more than enough future draft equity to trade itself out of any down the road bind. It may sound strange considering OKC's collected youth, but this is the time to strike. The future will sort itself out. Could you ask for more than 3 of the Thunder's 15 first rounders in the next 7 drafts? Sure. Should OKC considering adding picks to the pile if that's what it takes to get a deal over the finish line? Absolutely. Marketing will add a terrifying dimension to a 5-out offense, dramatically upgrading Giddey's spot in the first unit, all while adding significant size to a squad that got beat up on the boards. OKC has faced roster crunches in the last few seasons as is, so moving on some of his picks might be inevitably regardless. It can't keep onboarding 2 or 3 rookies every year, waiting for them to develop and then extending them. All those financial issues that everyone is worried about would arise in that conservative scenario too. Better consolidate, turn those assets to also try to win a title next season. The marketing of the Thunder thing I think has been talked about for a while. It's talked about for a lot of different, you know, for a while. This entire season, it feels like, especially we don't know what the Jazz direction is. The Thunder trying to capitalize now, especially again, they made a good point with the money. Shai can get some money. Jalen Williams and Chet are going to have to get extensions. Someone's going to have to get traded, and it looks like the man now is Josh Giddey. So I like the basics. Large marketing to OKC, Josh Giddey to Utah. I don't think it's a bad thing either. Utah has a spot for Josh Giddey, even though I do like Keontae George. I think they can play next to each other, and Keontae George can be more of a 2. They also can play 1, and the picks is nice. Cason Wallace is tough because, honestly, like, I would think if you're acquiring large marketing, well, I guess maybe you can move Lou Dort to the 2. But I don't know. I think Cason Wallace is going to be really good. I would try to give up not Cason Wallace in this deal. I would try to give up, honestly, maybe I'll give up the 12th pick that they have. I wouldn't mind giving up the 12th pick because, I mean, you could get another, key player, but if you're adding Larry Markkinen in, I mean, Larry Markkinen is really, really good, especially on a team where now he can be, the 3rd, 4th option, and he can be spot up. He can, all the things he can do in Utah, where he was already kind of like an off-the-ball threat. Add him to OKC, where you have so many other players. You have Shai, J-Dub, and Chet Holmgren you have to worry about, and now it's Larry Markkinen in there. That would be just amazing. That would be amazing, but if I'm OKC, I'll try to give up not Cason Wallace. I'll give you the 12th pick. I'll give you anything else. I don't know about Cason Wallace. Cason Wallace, I feel like is going to be a really big part of OKC down the line. So I think it's a good trade. It's a good trade, but just change out Cason Wallace for like the 12th pick or something like that, and you got yourself a deal. Kevin Durant to the Warriors. Okay, here's where we start getting crazy. So the trade is Golden State acquires Kevin Durant from the Phoenix Suns for Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevon Looney, and a 2025 first round pick. I'm not gonna read the write up here. I'm skimming through it right now, real quick. Okay, I think I can think of where they're coming from. For the Warriors, they're trying to win with Steph Curry. It's kind of like a win now thing, and they've kind of been stuck in the last couple of years of this win now, but also trying to develop the young players, and it hasn't worked really. And so they feel like the last option to try to get Steph Curry another ring and try to do anything they can to keep this big 3 alive is go get Kevin Durant back. A couple years after, of course, the 2 championships, him and Draymond don't have the greatest relationship. I can see they're saying it in an article, but I don't know. The Suns didn't have a good year last year. They failed. They got swept in the first round, and they don't really have much wiggle room to make this team a lot better, and they're kind of stuck with that. I'm trying to think. For the Warriors side, Kuminga is tough because he showed a lot of improvement last year, and the Warriors believe he's going to be really, really, really good. I've seen some things that he's been like dang near untouchable. But if you're getting Kevin Durant, it's going to be an old team. Steph, Durant, Clay, and Draymond in 2024, 2025 instead of 2017 is a big difference, obviously. For the Suns, you get Kuminga, you get an extra first round pick, and now it's Booker, Beal, Kuminga, Wiggins, and Nurkic. I don't know how much I like that lineup better, honestly. But at least for the Suns, you get Kuminga, a young player that maybe you can develop, and you get a first-round pick for next year back, I guess. I don't know. I don't really like it for the Suns. I mean, but then thinking about it, if you are trading Kevin Durant, this might be one of the. I mean, if you can get a good young player in Kuminga and a first round pick, maybe you can get more picks from other teams. Maybe. I'm trying to think of Kevin Durant's market. I think someone will give up a couple picks for Kevin Durant. But for the Warriors, I mean, I understand it. Going all in, being like, you know what, Steph's here. We're going all in on Steph and trying to give him one more chance before he retires. And Kevin Durant might be the best opportunity. Bring the super team back. All of them past their prime. Well, kind of past their prime. A lot of them on their last kind of years. Bring it back. I don't know. That would just be funny to think about Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Durant. But all of them are like 35, 36 years old now. Like all of them are old now. That's just a funny thing to think about. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this trade. Really, I don't know. I don't know how much I like it. Brandon Ingram to the Cavaliers. I've seen this one talked about a lot. Trade is the Cavs acquire Brandon Ingram, Dyson Daniels, and Jordan Hawkins from the Pelicans for Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen. The Cavs, of course, have been talked about a lot free agency after the way they went out, all the stuff going on around them, Donovan Mitchell, that thing. And this has been trade brought up a lot, especially with the Pelicans looking like they're trying to trade Brandon Ingram on the last year of his contract. Why not, Ingram for Garland? For the Cavaliers side, you get Brandon Ingram, you get a guy that can still help you with the offense, with creation. You can let Donovan Mitchell play the one, get some size with Brandon Ingram, put him at the three. With Max Strus out there. If you do trade Jarrett Allen, you put Evan Mobley at the 4, at the 5, and you find somebody to pair at the 4. You also get Jordan Hawkins, a guy that can help with the spacing, because, yeah, the Cavs need that. And then Dyson Daniels could be just a project guy that maybe you can help develop. Coming off the bench, he's a really good defender already, so that's a good thing. So that's not bad for the Cavs. For the Pelicans, get Darius Garland, get a point guard. That can help with Zion, space the floor out a little bit more. Maybe DG now as a full-time ball handler, even though you do have CJ McCollum. Which maybe you trade CJ somewhere else to try to open up that guard position. But even then, you just traded Jordan Hawkins to put in there, so I don't really know. But you get Darius Garland, a match for Zion. You get Jarrett Allen, a good center. Where Valanciunas leaves, we know at least let's get a really good center in Jarrett Allen that can clean up the glass. So I don't think it's a bad trade. I don't know if the Pelicans will give up Jordan Hawkins like that. To be honest, I'm not really sure. But I think the basic of this trade would be nice. I think if the Cavaliers, you can get a guy like Brandon Ingram, especially for Darius Garland, whose trade market looks like it's not really there. Brandon Ingram might be the best thing you can get in terms of player-wise. You can add another All-Star, for an All-Star. Well, of course, 2 former All-Stars, but still All-Stars. Maybe, maybe that could be a thing. It would just be more about, rounding out the roster if you're Cleveland. And for New Orleans, again, gotta be able to get back another All-Star, a young point guard for Darius Garland that has been an All-Star before. Maybe you can unlock his potential back, putting him next to Zion, and then getting a really good big man in Jarrett Allen, especially if Valanciunas leaves. Then, that could be a good thing. So I think that's probably been the best trade on here. The last one, Donovan Mitchell to the Lakers. The trade is the Lakers acquired Donovan Mitchell for the Cavaliers for Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and 3 first-round picks: 2024, 2029, 2031. Yeah, this has been talked about a lot. Of course, the Lakers are always in the news. A lot of different things. Donovan Mitchell is a free agent could be a free agent after this season, and this is a big year for the Cavaliers because if Donovan Mitchell isn't satisfied, he could walk, and now you're just left with nothing. Especially if you make all these moves, make the Garland trade, make all these trades for Donovan, and then he walks. You kind of break up the future. And so the Lakers obviously have been a team trying to star hunt. The Lakers, they star hunt a lot, and Don Mitchell could be the guy there. Of course, for the Lakers, LeBron, Donovan, and AD, giving LeBron one last chance to get a ring, probably could be the best option they have in terms of trying to complete that task. For the Cavaliers, if you are trading Donovan Mitchell, because there's been some things saying that if the Cavs don't get Donovan Mitchell to sign the extension this offseason and don't really feel like Mitchell is going to stay, they would trade him. So if you're thinking, you get back 3 firsts, Austin Reeves, who's a really solid young player, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, 3 solid players. This might not be the worst move. There could be better out there, potentially. I don't really know the market. But this isn't the worst thing. But then again, if you're the Cavaliers, you're Cavaliers fans. So now your lineup is Garland, Reeves, Strus, Allen, and Mobley. You know, unless you trade Jared Allen, and then in case Rory gets in that 4, and then Mobley at the 5. That's not horrible. That's not amazing, but that's not horrible, at least. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about this one if you're a Cavs fan. You do get 3 first-round picks after you traded a bunch of them to go get Donovan Mitchell, so at least you get your picks back. They are future down the line. After this year's is 2029 and 2031, which is like 4 or 5 years from now. But at least, I mean, it's something. It's some first-round picks. So I guess this isn't bad. This isn't bad at all. But I just don't know if you're a Cavaliers fan how much you get excited if you trade Donovan Mitchell and you get back Austin Reeves as kind of the main headline. And a first round pick, I guess, for this year, which now you can have 2 first round picks to bring in some more young players and try to develop that young talent, I guess. I don't really know. Eh, it's okay. You know, so these trades, solid. You know, I think the Larry Marketing one and the Brandon Ingram one are good. You know, I don't really know how much I feel about the Kevin Durant to the Warriors or the Donovan Mitchell to the Lakers trade, and then the Cat trade to the Pelicans. I don't know. I like it for one side. I don't like it for the other side. But yeah, these are just trades people are making. The offseason is coming very soon. I'm very excited for player movement, especially with the free agency class not being crazy. We can see a lot of star players getting traded, and I'm very excited for it. Obviously, very, very, very excited to see what happens next. And let me know down in the comments below how you feel about these trades and what trades maybe you would like to see made in this offseason. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.